Yo, what's good? We back up in this thing. Got a couple of videos we're gonna review real quick. You see what the banners say. Follow me on all platforms, Chuck Diesel TLW. On YouTube, you can get the full forms of a lot of these videos. On TikTok, you'll get more of my unadulterated thoughts and my wild shit. IG, you'll just get a little bit of here, there, and then point you to where you need to be. But let's get this going. Klay, Meg, Klay. We ain't gonna start with what I gotta say. Let's watch this video and I'm gonna just pause it intermittently.
Megan Thee Stallion got a problem that most women have. They think they're a main character.
Come on now, why are you doing me like this? All right, we'll start with this one.
Megan Thee Stallion got a problem that most women have. They think they're a main character on planet Earth, not realizing that they only a main character to the people who give a fuck about them. She thought that she was in an anime where she could brag about fucking other women's boyfriends and people's husbands. She could brag about being a whore. She could brandish her asshole to every camera that she's ever seen and still leave and have a happily committed, loving relationship. You listen to that girl's music and all she talks about is getting fucked.
And so this is the biggest thing that I had to say. It was like, yo, bro, like what world are we living in? Where people were like, oh, is he gonna find somebody better? What constitutes of better, bruh? And it's like, what are we talking about? It's like I said, I was talking to this lady and I was like, a lot of hoish tendencies. She's like, Meg's a hoe. I was like, bro, listen to her music. All she talk about is getting fucked, taking dick, busting at. Like, what are we talking about? Like, she be half naked on TV all the time. Like she dresses like the strippers dress and pops her pussy. What are we talking about? Am I mad at her for it? Whatever. It's her life. Live your best life. But don't act like this ain't hoe shit.
Megan Thee Stallion got a problem that most women have. They think they're a main character on planet Earth, not realizing that they only a main character to the people who give a fuck about them. She thought that she was in an anime where she could brag about fucking other women's boyfriends and people's husbands. She could brag about being a whore. She could brandish her asshole to every camera that she's ever seen and still leave and have a happily committed, loving relationship. You listen to that girl's music and all she talks about is getting fucked. That's literally it. You thought that, wait a minute, what made you think that Klay Thompson thought that you were a faithful, loyal woman?
And that's what I was trying to also talk to women about and get them to understand is like, yes, Klay was dating her, but do you think that he thought she was respectable just because he was in a bro? I'm sure that this nigga was getting clowned, dog, in the locker room. I know niggas was clowning him, talking about, oh, I know for a fact, bro. If you've ever been inside of a boys' locker room, if you've ever been inside of a jock locker room, bro, after practice, bro, after a bad game, during the game, I know niggas was like, oh, I seen man, you see my back on my screen. Like, bro, niggas was taunting that nigga, bro, about her. I know it, man. Even if he didn't care as a grown-up man, he knew what he was getting himself into when he stepped outside with her on stage. You feel me? Whenever you seen him in public, look at that nigga face. It do not look like the face of a man who wants to be there. At least not on the camera. He wasn't trying to be on the camera with all that. He got brand deals and endorsements and shit. Nigga, they're not letting you just pop pussy on every state. Come
And you literally brag about fucking your friends' boyfriends. You see, imagine if a grown-ass man who get on here talking about fucking other niggas' women every day, I got his girl, and I got this one. Imagine that man being surprised when he got cheated on. Not only is he surprised, but he comes to the internet to complain about it. The same internet where he got famous for literally being a sexual degenerate and talking about how much sex he has with other people's.
And that's what I also don't understand. Women are like, oh my God, Meg's such a good bro. She raps about what he is saying. All she really talks about, and look, I don't know every song. All the songs that are the biggest, the most popular, the most sung are the ones where she's talking about sexual gratification and getting things off. You feel me? And receiving monetary, you feel me? All of it is about lewd, illicit, instant gratification. There was nothing of morality, substance, integrity, dignity, intellect. The only thing that's intellectual is the fact she has a degree. And having a college degree doesn't mean much, bro. I'm pretty sure Donald Trump probably has some type of education. You feel me? And that was another thing I was saying is like, all right, people look at her as an example or a role model, but don't pay attention to what she's doing and saying. There are people who look at Donald Trump as a role model, but a lot of people don't like the things that he does and says. You feel me? Having a position does not equate to being a representative, or at least you shouldn't necessarily be considered the main. Just because you have the position doesn't mean you should be in it or considered a representation of anything respectable or to be looked up to. Like, what the fuck are we talking about, bro?
Girlfriends. What are you? Do you think you're impervious to karmic like retribution? Do you think you're above like the laws of what you reap what you sow? You get what you put in. Why would you think you're above that? And that's a lot of women's problems. They think they can present themselves any kind of way and still get the life that they want, and it's not true. And what they never accept is that the only women who tell you that's true is other whores without the life you're looking for. Megan Thee Stallion got.
And see, that's a good point right there too. I had a conversation with this woman I was involved with, and we literally just were seriously talking, and I was just like, so you understand this is what you're doing, and you understand this is how you're behaving, and you understand this is how excuse me, see, even I knew some bullshit, and you understand this is how you're treating people, right? These three things are what's happening, right? So how in the fuck are your expectations the way that they are? You cannot talk crazy to people. You cannot rob people. You cannot lie on people and then expect people to have your best interest at heart. And she was literally, I was like, how are you going to treat people however you want to and then expect them to treat you the way you want to be treated? You have to treat other people the way they want to be treated too, in order for them to give a fuck about treating you the way you want to be treated. And does this have anything to do with their relationship? Not necessarily. Just more so the idea of not realizing the things that you do and say come with real life, real time reactions. And it's not even always like a reaction in the sense of this is the retaliation. No, this is just what comes with the territory. And sometimes what comes with the territory is forgotten because we're looking the complete other way. If you go into the middle of the forest, just because the sun is setting over here and the vines look so pretty, don't mean there's not a jaguar in the back waiting to eat that ass if you're not paying attention. That's part of being in the jungle. You have to pay attention. So, what's the jungle in this scenario? Them being in the public entertainment. Meg is looking at the cheating as if a jaguar came out of nowhere and bit that ass. But like he said, everything you've portrayed over the last few years has shown that you believe that you should be in the jungle. You like it in the jungle. You promote other women to get out there in the jungle and find some more wild animals. The wild animals being niggas that's out here tricking. You feel me? You got niggas on your roster. Ain't no way that all five of these niggas is sensible, dignified men who care about you. These are some animals. And you in the jungle. Klay Thompson, my nigga, was an exploration man. He came into the jungle, ran into you, and said, wow. And then I guess this nigga said, you know what? I'm an animal. And he did what the Jaguars do. They bite that ass, boy. Shut the fuck up. Get out the jungle. Stop talking about the jungle life. But at this point, you can take the animal out the jungle, but can you take the jungle out of the animal? That is the question I'm going to leave you with, boys and girls.